Thank you guys for joining in another News Bits video. Today we're going to be looking at some new news with the COVID relief bill. We're going to be giving you some information for you to be able to draw your own conclusions. Keep this short and sweet. So CNBC, almost every other media outlet's covering it. I just happen to pick this one. We have some key points here. As a title, Senate passes $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. House Democrats plan final approval Tuesday. So what you have is stage one is House, stage two is Senate, and stage three is the president. What happens is it passed the House. The Senate couldn't agree on it, so the Senate had to make some changes. Now it's going to go back to the House. They anticipate the House will approve it. That'll get fast tracked through Senate and go straight to Biden. So we're gonna see a little bit what the key points are, and then see what changed, because that's really the important part. So Senate Democrats passed the 1.9 trillion COVID relief package on Saturday, which is today. Party hopes to have the aid bill on President Biden's desk before the previous bill's unemployment aid programs expire on March 14th, which is coming up in about a week. Democrats had to make several last-minute changes to win support from all their members. Their caucus couldn't fully agree, so they had to kind of go back and forth. I believe it was a great 24 hours of straight kind of back and forth trying to come to a resolution. And it looks like Republicans opposed another major spending bill, contending the state of the economy does not warrant it, and that COVID's starting to improve and people are getting into a better and better place. So here we have our C-SPAN footage. I'm not going to play it for you because I don't want to milk 11 minutes of this video. But what I will do is I will link this in the description, and I definitely encourage you guys to watch it. The one thing we do here is a question from a reporter at about 6 or 7 minutes. And they say, hey, will this be the last relief package? And Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader for the Democrats, said, if this is sufficient, it will be okay, but there's a chance that there's more variants and other COVID strains that could affect the economy and the American people, and that we might have to do another one. And he's not leading with that, but I think that's interesting. Definitely, look into these questions. You get more information from the questions from the reporters than this kind of prepackaged speech that he gives for the first 6 minutes. So what changed? What did the Senate have to change in order for the whole Democratic caucus to agree? We're going to look at the highlights. So what changed is who's eligible to get a check. Before it was people, under the House bill, the cash payment would phase out for singles with incomes between 75 and 100K. But the Senate bill, the phase out stops at 80K, so it's a hard stop. Under the House bill, the cash payment for married, and the House bill is the first one that passed, went to Senate, and now Senate's making these amendments. So the House bill, the cash payment for married couples phased out between 150 and 200K, but the Senate made changes. The phase out stops at 160K. The Senate removed the $15 minimum wage. They said it doesn't fall into their kind of future budget, and they took that one out. Money for state and local governments. The Senate bill also provides $350 billion for state and local governments, but adds a stipulation that the money can only cover costs incurred by the end of 2024. The Senate bill also prohibits states from using the money to offset tax cuts, nor can it be used to shore up a pension fund. I don't have any real thoughts on that, but it would be nice to make sure that people that are retiring and have worked a full career do get the money they deserve in their pension. So I'm interested in that one. I'll look into that later. More money for hospitals. Hospital trade groups lobbied senators to tack on more money for hospitals to help maintain sufficient staffing and purchase personal protective equipment, or PPE, while caring for large numbers of critically ill patients. The Senate bill adds another $8.5 billion for royal providers of COVID relief. More aid for the jobless. So the House bill extended, or less aid, excuse me. The House bill extended unemployment to August 29th at $400 a week. The Senate bill goes an extra week to September 6th, but reduced it to $300 a week. They made some non-taxable. The first $10,000 are non-taxable, and it applies to households with an income under $150,000. Health insurance help. So workers who lose their job can remain on their company's health plan for up to 18 months under a law known as COBRA, but they typically must pay the full monthly premium. The House bill subsidized that by 85%. The Senate bill would include 100% subsidy, so they upped that. In other winners, it looks like Amtrak got an additional $200 million on top of the $1.5 billion in the House bill. There's an additional $510 million for homeless services under the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, and $175 million for Corporation for Public Broadcasting. All COVID-19 student loan relief would be tax-free. All right, so that's a summary of what changed. So in order for the Senate caucus to fully get behind this, they made these changes. Now it's going back to House. House is going to push, hopefully from a Democratic perspective, pass it. If not, they'll go back and forth as they need to. I think the urgency right here is making sure that they get this by March 14th, when the previous employment benefits don't pass, stop. But really, what's important here, guys, is looking into this yourself, because all these news sites are going to cherry pick the information they want to give you. I'm not saying it's false information, but it's a limited scope of information. So we're going to look at HR 1319, the American Rescue Plan Act, which is what we're talking about with this COVID relief package. And you can see this massive document here. I'm not even going to take you through it, because that's something you should be doing on your own time if you're interested. But what's really interesting is you can click right here. You can see where this is. So pass Senate. I told you about this little loop-de-loop it's going to do. But you can actually look right here if you click on who voted. So you can look at each senator and see who voted yeah and who voted nay. So this is senate.gov. It's a really good way for you to look at what's going on. And this is congress.gov, but senate.gov to be able to see the senators that voted for it. But congress.gov and senate.gov, really good resources for you to be able to look into what the government is passing. Chances are a lot of the stuff that's going on is totally out of the purview of the average American. And I would really love for people to be more involved, or at least more aware of what they're passing, because there's a chance you probably wouldn't like it. So anyway, guys, I hope you can draw your own conclusions. I hope I've given you the right information too. I'll link this C-SPAN footage of Chuck Schumer talking about the plan. I'll link you guys to congress.gov site, link straight to the plan itself. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Take care.